Welcome to Mighty Married Moms. Join us at our kitchen table twice a week as the Mighty Married Moms, Debbie, Linda, Wendy,
invite spectacular guests to weigh in on staying sexy, vibrant, and healthy,
building marriages with soul-satisfying connection, raising happy, healthy, successful kids. Conversations with Mighty Married Moms will bring you closer to the life you really want. Episode 90. Hi, this is Wendy Williams. And marriage happiness is way possible. ConnectAgain.org is very happy to sponsor Mighty Married Moms. We are partners in bringing you closer to the life you really want. Visit us today for marriage boosts at ConnectAgain.org.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Mighty Married Moms. I'm Debbie Owen from You Can Raise Great Kids.
And I'm Linda Tighe from All Well Breaks Loose.
And Wendy Williams from ConnectAgain.org.
And we are really excited to be able to talk about this fabulous conversation that we just had with Dr. Jeffrey Bernstein, who wrote several phenomenal books. The one that we talked about the most in our conversation was 10 Days to a Less Defiant Child.
And we did that because you read it.
I read it. It's a fabulous book. If you've got defiance issues with your kid, read the book.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. We all do once in a while, don't we?
Absolutely.
I loved what he said when he said his kid, who was probably 7 at the time, I think, based on the story, looked at him and said, "Make me."
Oh, yeah. Fight words.
Every parent's nightmare.
Right. Yeah. And I love what he said when he said, I had visions of taking him out in the cornfield and showing him how I could make him, or whatever. He didn't quite say it that way, but I was like, yeah, I relate to that. Like, take him out to the woodshed or whatever. Yeah. Like, I'll tell you who's boss. But then the reframe for me was he called that an adult tantrum.
Yeah. It is.
That made me.
It's an adult tantrum.
That made me suck wind. Like, when I'm screaming at my kid and trying to manipulate them or trying to bully them into better behavior, who's having the tantrum?
Right.
I like what you just said.
And who's being the bully?
Bully them into having better behavior.
Well, that's exactly. Well, you try to.
And he said that too. He said bullying. We're unwittingly bullies when we do that.
Absolutely.
But we don't think of ourselves that way. But that's exactly what we're doing.
Right.
It's really.
Well, where do we
when
learn
you put it that way, it's like, oh,
yeah,
there's a piece of humble pie.
Well, sure, because you're a bigger, more responsible person. You have more power.
Yeah.
And that's what bullies are all about: bigger and more powerful.
Yep.
Right.
And the victim doesn't have the power. And so if you're telling your kid you have to do this or else, then you're bullying your kid.
Yeah, but when they say make me, they're exerting their power. Because they're saying, there's no way that you're going to make me apologize to my sister for hitting her. You can't make me say those words. You just can't.
You can't.
And that's true.
True.
So then you're in this power struggle.
That's called power struggles.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. That's how we get into power struggles with our kids.
Totally. Oh, yeah? Well, yeah. And so
it's really not very pleasant.
No, his recipe seems a lot similar to the recipe you have.
Yeah.
Of calm parenting, and I really liked what he talked about. Is he somehow in this one illustration that he gave of one kid beating up the other kid and refusing to apologize and saying "make me," is that he found himself kind of like floating on the ceiling, kind of looking at this, saying, "This kid's playing me, and I'm the grown up here, so I'm gonna remove myself." I'm gonna. We say this in. Some 12-step meetings that I might have gone to once in a while that talk about taking my marbles and go home, right? So I'm gonna remove myself from this game. And he said he delivered a message in a calm, firm, and non-controlling manner, and it really took the starch out of the interaction.
I think the other important piece of that was that he said he wasn't going to be attached to the outcome.
Yeah.
And I think that's really hard to do as a parent because you want your kid to behave in a certain way, but there are times when you cannot be attached to the outcome. All you can do is guide in a nice calm way how you want their behavior to be modeled. And one thing he said to his kid was, "I know you're better than that." Right? And that's an important piece of it too, is that positive, I know you
have it in there.
You're a good guy and you know the right thing to do, and I know you know it, and I know you want to do the right thing. Right? So I'm not going to make you do it. I'm not going to make you do it.
I can't make you do it.
I can't make you do it. But I know you're better than that, and I think it would be a really good idea. And that was it. And then he didn't say another word. And then he just kept driving. They were in the car. And then 5 minutes later, his son said, all right, I'm sorry, and that was a great example too, because then you want to say to them, that wasn't a very nice sorry, but
that wasn't real.
You
let it go.
You got to let it go, because and I thought it was really great that he said, because he also understood that his son needed to save face, and I think that's really important too. That was having respect for his son too, that he couldn't completely give in to the sister.
Say, what was I thinking?
You know that he's not the only one that has shoved his sister, and she's done other things to him too. So you can't, know. So I thought that was very wise on his part too, was to let that go.
Right.
Say, I would have liked it to be a little softer, but that's great.
Right.
We'll take it.
We'll take it. Yeah, we'll take
That's
it.
a first step.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the other piece that's important, I mean, there's so many pieces that are important in this little story, in this little vignette.
Right.
Yes. So many pieces. But one of the other ones that I also want to point out is we've talked about this all the time, being present, being really totally present and being aware. And the best way to be aware, I love what he does, is to imagine yourself suspended from the ceiling looking down at what's going on below you, objectively, where you're not invested in who says what or what the outcome is. You're just observing. So if you are totally present in the situation, I talk about this in my ADE technique, just observe yourself and say, wow, look at me, I'm really upset.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Look at me, I'm going off the deep end here, right here in this car.
Yeah. What can I do to calm myself down? And like I said, that's my ADE technique. But his point is to suspend yourself from the ceiling and be the observer looking down, saying, wow, we need to change something here.
Right. This parent's out of control and the child's out of control. Who should exert some sanity in this situation? Probably the adult. Yeah. Right.
And then the calm, firm, non-controlling.
Yeah. Yeah. He said that's the heart of his book. And the motivation behind that is no one likes to be told what to do. I don't. You don't. My grandfather never did. My kids don't. Right? Nobody likes to be told what to do. It's just so, but yet we continue to try, and we keep thinking, thank you for telling me not to shove my sister into the trunk of the car. I don't know what I was thinking. Thank you for bring the voice of wisdom. No, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen to anybody. So.
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, and that's an important piece of it too. Is when we tell our kids what they need to do without giving them choice, and I've talked about this a lot before. You're going to end up in trouble.
Right.
You end up in trouble because a choice is so important in our relationships with everybody.
Yeah.
You can't tell your spouse what they have to do. You can't tell your coworker what they have to do. You can't tell the kid out on the street on the bike what they have to do or not do. You can't tell your kids what they have to do.
Yeah.
It's all about giving options and choices.
Yeah.
And that way they feel like they have some control.
Yeah.
That's
and it's also good for you too. It's also good for the person who said, I can't drive you to the mall right now. I can drive you to the mall at 7 or I can drive you to the mall at 9, but I can't do it right now. Or you could ask your dad, your choice.
Right. And give choices that it doesn't matter to you which one they choose. Don't give choices where you're like, I really hope they pick this one.
Yeah.
I really hope they pick A and not B. Right. Because then if they pick B, you're going to be upset.
Right. And it will show. Yeah. Totally.
The simple way to look at that is if you've got a toddler and you've got 3 different cups, one's yellow, one's blue, and one's green, you say, which color would you like today? And, you can take that analogy and move it up to the example that Wendy just gave, which is, which time can I take you? I can't take you now. I can take you at these other times. Which one works best for you? So there are different ways that you can take that multicolored cups analogy to different ages and situations.
Because I just want you to drink the milk. So it doesn't matter which cup you choose. The point is, you choose the cup, I get to put the milk in it. Right. Yeah. So you're both winning in that scenario.
Yeah.
But Linda wouldn't want us to have milk.
Milk is fine.
Oh, milk is fine? Oh, okay,
Absolutely,
good. All right,
absolutely.
good.
Yeah, it's in perspective. But, I'm not going to say anything is bad. I'm not about that.
No.
Okay,
good.
It's a whole big picture of how you eat.
That's right.
Yes.
So the other thing that was really important was he pointed out that it's all about mindset even more than strategies, which I thought was really important.
What you bring to the table.
Yeah,
and
head. So being recognizing that kids need some praise and they need some recognition. They need you need to recognize that they're afraid of something. You need to recognize as a parent that you're afraid of something. And we've talked about this before too. If my kid is freaking out in the store, what am I afraid of? I'm afraid of what all those other parents in the store are going to think of me. Yeah. Has nothing to do with whether or not
It's
my
so
kid's freaking
universal.
out. It's all
Right.
about me.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
I know my kid's going to work through their freaking out, and we've done it before at home.
Sure.
But not in front of everybody watching, judging me.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah. So the fear is so important to recognize in yourself. And I also loved what Dr. Jeff said in terms of acknowledging what you're struggling with to your kid. And,
Yeah.
and you had a story, you were talking about that too, Linda, where you were saying, where it's really important to be able to say to your child, I didn't handle that very well, I'm really sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Wish I could have done, I would like to rewind it.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, all right, this is me. I'm in a grocery store, and some child is pitching a fit and screaming and screaming and screaming, and the mom is, you better shut up or I'm going to take you out in the car or whatever, and they don't really go, and the kid's still screaming and thrashing about and throwing the Cheerios all over the floor. I am judging. So the fear is grounded, I think.
That's
As
an
an
interesting point.
observer, I
Yeah.
am saying, could you please get your child out of the thing, or what, have you not fed the child in the last 3 hours? Is that why they're out
Is
of
it
their
nap
mind?
time?
Is
Yeah.
it nap time? Are you using your best judgment to be here right now with this? So judging, I don't know if that's the right word, but I'm not oblivious. I'm not walking around ignoring it. So does that matter, the fact that other people are judging, or do we just kind of stand and say, I need to take care of the situation with my child and ignore the noise of other people in our environment?
That's a great question. I think you're right. I think we need to ignore.
Yeah, I think we need to ignore too.
Yeah.
But I am on the other side of that. I mean, I am walking around going, could you please leave? I'd like the store to be quieter, or whatever. So it makes
Yeah.
sense to me.
Yeah. No, that's actually a really good question, and it's worth conversation because what does that say about us if we're out there looking at people's struggles and kind of judging them for
And
it?
being negative about it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Not all the time, but I do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because we know better.
Yeah. Well, nobody's
Well, we are the mighty married
perfect.
moms. Of course we know better. No.
Well, we have some strategies that we can share with
Yeah,
people, and,
right,
and
yeah.
we feel like I feel more empathy than I think judgment is really.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that poor woman, she just doesn't know that she's saying the wrong thing to that poor
Yeah.
kid.
That's what I think too. That's
Yeah.
how I feel too. And when you hear moms say that and dads, all that negative input that the
Oh,
kids
yeah.
taking in, it's really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
oh, I just want to go tell you
solve that
there's a better
problem.
way.
Yeah,
right, yeah.
It's a better way. You just want to run to the kid and say, "You're so cute. I think you're so great."
Yeah.
Because it is true. We say a lot of negative things to our kids. There's
We
a lot
do.
of toxic talk. We didn't really get to unpack.
We didn't. He's going to have to come back for that.
Today, but he has a lot to say about that too. And in our relationships, in our marriages, in our friendships, and but I would say probably most with our kids, because we're not even thinking. We want them because we want so badly for them to be this certain kind of person, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes we feel like we need to force it on them, because they can't do it
true.
themselves. There's your sort of impulses to let me just force you to be what I think you should be, and you can't.
You
You have to
can't.
be patient and let them figure it out and guide them and love them through it.
Yeah.
And if you haven't taken the time to take stock and say, what kind of a parent do I want to be? What kind of skills do I want to learn that I haven't learned? Most of us repeat what we grew up with,
Yeah.
or we see on TV
We don't
or
even know
something.
it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's the unconscious part. Whereas if you really step out, gotta go on the ceiling and take a
Yeah.
look and say, is that really the kind of parent I want to be? I didn't really enjoy when my mother did that with me, so why would I think that anybody else would enjoy it? So I wanna take some time and take some stock and learn some new strategies or ways to be.
And we would want
Yeah.
to be calm, firm, and non-controlling, I would
Wouldn't you?
think.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That would be great, because what that does is it decreases your own stress level, it decreases your kids' stress level, and we're all much healthier for it.
Yes.
Yeah, no, stress
There's that
levels not
side
good.
benefits.
Yeah,
Yeah,
stress levels
There's
are
that
not
side
good.
benefits.
Not good on the body.
There was something else I wanted to bring up too, and he was, the two skills that we should
just
really,
gonna say that.
yeah. Before we end, I
The
want to
most
make
crucial skills.
Yeah, go ahead, talk about it, Linda.
He said the ability to calm down and the ability to solve problems.
Yeah,
Those are the most important
Most
skills
important
to teach
skills.
and live
yep.
Yes.
in our families. I thought that was so great.
Yep.
Well, and that's why so many kids really struggle with whatever their challenges are, it's because they don't have those problem-solving skills,
Right.
and they don't know how to calm themselves down.
Right.
They're like, I have they confront a problem, they don't know what to do, and then they start to freak out.
Yep.
Or they start to, or goes in another direction and they misbehave. They do something.
Right.
They do something to cope with that anxiety or to cope with
Yeah.
that. I don't know what the heck I'm doing, so I think I'll smoke some dope. That'll
Yeah.
make me feel better,
That's
or
true.
whatever. Or I will, drink or go off with my friends and jump into a quarry or do something stupid, because they are like, all right, they just don't have the ability to calm down and figure out a way to negotiate forward.
And I think that's the key, is it's calm down first, then brainstorm in order to problem solve.
Yeah, get
That's
some
the
way
key.
forward. Yeah.
Because as we've learned on almost every podcast, right, is that when you are freaking out and you're stressed, your
brain
you're working
shuts
from the
right
lower
down.
part of your brain, the
Yep.
fight or flight.
Yep.
You don't have the ability to access the creative part of your brain. The
Yep.
only way that you can access that is to
Be
calm,
calm.
take a deep breath, be mindful, be in the moment, and then you can access that part of your brain.
Yeah.
And the more we can model that, because it's, do as I do, not as I say, you can tell your kids one thing, but if you're not modeling that behavior, they're not going to follow it. They're going to follow whatever you're doing.
Yes.
So we have to be that to be able to teach that.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah. Great stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably where we should end, because that brings, I think, all the things that we learned from
Yeah.
Dr. Jeff Bernstein to full circle. And, we would love to hear what you have to say about this. Any times that you've struggled with challenges with your kids, when has your kid been defiant? Maybe it's only once a week. Maybe it's once an hour.
Oh boy.
Some kids are real challenging. We'd love to hear about it, and we'd love to know what you do that works for you,
Yes.
or what questions you have. So
Share
please
it.
share it in the comments.
Please.
Yeah, please let us know. So we're going to sign off. This is the Mighty Married Moms, and we would love to have you go to iTunes and leave us a rating and review. And one last time, my name is Debbie Owen.
I'm Linda Tighe.
And I'm Wendy Williams.
And thank you so much for being with us today, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Mighty Married Moms. Tune in twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays to meet fascinating and inspiring guests who will help you create the life you've always wanted.
You can find these episodes and special gifts just for you at mightymarriedmoms.com, as well as a link to our Facebook community,
where we continue the conversation around the kitchen table. Please also help share the love by leaving a review on iTunes. We'll see you next time.